Hey everybody, Omar here, the Knife Shark Guy, and I am back, and welcome back to the Blast from the Past section of my knife channel. And today we're going to be taking a look at, as you guys can probably guess, a Kershaw knife, which will be a discontinued Kershaw knife. This one, I think you'll find this interesting. It is the Steven Seagal 1680 limited edition knife by Ken Onion. This knife came out right around 2005. This is the heyday of Ken Onion being the premier designer, and he came out with a number of knives during that time. This is one of his fantastic designs. So I'm just going to go ahead and unbox it so we can go ahead and take a look at it. Let's pop this baby out here. So this is it. This is the 1680 Steven Seagal knife. This knife, like I said, was made right around 2005. And a little word about this knife on a personal note. I had this knife before and I got rid of it. About 5 years ago, I got rid of the knife for two reasons. Number one, I'm not a Steven Seagal fan. I've never really been a Steven Seagal fan. Even during the heyday when his knives were up there, you know, the Hard to Kill and Above the Law, you know, I wasn't really a big Steven Seagal fan, but I got the knife anyway, and then I got rid of it. Because like I said, I wasn't a Steven Seagal fan, so I didn't feel I had the right to own it. And also I got rid of it because it was serrated from here to about here. There's serration. I'm really not a serrated fan. I want all my knives to be plain edge. So, I decided to go ahead and sell this knife to get a couple of others that I wanted to get in my collection. It was the right decision to make at the time. It wasn't really great. It was really good shape, but not great shape on my older one. The one that I got rid of, the pivot was a little worn away. It wasn't nice and black like you see here. So that was kind of a disappointment. So when the opportunity arose for me to get this knife again, I saw it on eBay and I got it for a really great price. I actually won it on eBay for a really great price. I picked it up for about $102. I figured that's definitely worth the money considering it's a limited edition knife and very, very rare to see in the non-serrated version. So let's go ahead and do the specs on this knife, and then I'm going to talk about the knife overall. The overall length of this knife, and I'm getting this from the Kershaw website, is 8.375 inches. The blade length is 3.625. The cutting edge, which is from here to about here, is 3.25 inches. And the blade thickness is 0.12. Blade material is Aus 8, which is a pretty good steel. It's a lot better than your 14C 28N, I think. The blade shape is a clip point. It's got a flat grind on it. Flat blade grind. A beautiful mirror finish. I love that. That is just absolutely gorgeous, that beautiful mirror finish on there. And the plain edges and the edge of the knife is plain, thank God. So, all right, so let's talk about some of the features of this knife. Overall, this is a sub-frame liner lock. Really very, very smooth. The knife runs on washers. The materials for this knife are, I'm gonna say it's kind of like like plastic, I guess. But the scales are aluminum. And the handles have this grippy, what they call stingray leather. Stingray leather was chosen specifically by Steven Seagal to be on his knife because he likes the stingray leather because that's what he's used to when he is, training with Japanese swords, which also have this material on it. So he wanted to have this material on the knife that bears his name. So this knife is an open construction. It has 2 standoffs on it. Or actually, I guess, officially 2 standoffs, and this one here would be for your lanyard. If you wanted to have a lanyard, put a lanyard on it, you could probably put a lanyard right there. The pocket clip is tip up, tip down, lock side only. And on the front of the blade has his name on the front. And on the back, it's got his name, which is really weird, in Chinese characters. I don't know, I'm kind of bewildered because it's supposed to be a Japanese knife, and yet it's got his name in Chinese characters instead of Japanese. I don't know why they did that. The knife has a beautiful crowned top on it, which is really very, very nice. He did that, I'm assuming, because you're going to be using this knife for self-defense. When you do the Filipino grip, your thumb can rest easily on that crown. It won't be very, very uncomfortable. The ergos on it are excellent. It's got jimping here on the top of the knife and back here on by where the pinky is, because supposedly if you're going to be using it in self-defense and you're going to be switching your hand, you've got your index finger resting here on the jimping for grip, and then he puts more jimping here on this part of the knife for your thumb, for the back, for backslashing, I guess. If you were to do that in self-defense, you got the self-defense grip for the back part, so you can rest your thumb there very nicely. Overall, it is a beautiful knife. I do like the way the standoffs pop out with the skeletonized frame popping out, accentuating the standoffs. Surprised they didn't do that for this part of the knife over here, but then again, it would have gotten in the way of the jimping. So I guess it was a good call for that. Really nice open construction. The knife is beautifully centered. As you can see, it's dead centered over there. Very, very smooth. The knife runs on washers. It is very, very smooth, guys. It has the thumb studs for its main access. The other thing I don't understand is that they put this flipper on the end of the knife, but it's not really a flipper, because if you press it, the knife only comes out to about that much. So basically, this tells me that if you're going to be using this flipper, you're going to have to flick your wrist out in order to pop it open, which I don't like. I like my knives you don't have to flick your wrist to pop it open, but that's pretty much the design of the knife. Keep in mind also, I think it might have been, at the time when flippers were not quite popular yet. Knives go through trends, and at the time, I guess they were kind of shifting out of the thumb stud knives and maybe discovering the market for flippers. So I think maybe this is a way to introduce the flipper. But like I said, it's not a full flipper because you have to flick your wrist. So let's go ahead and do some size comparisons so you guys can see how this knife measures up. Let's go ahead and put it up against another Kershaw to start out with. The Kershaw bare knuckle knife in carbon fiber and M390. So you can see it's actually larger than the M390 bare knuckle knife. And this is actually a pretty large knife, but this knife is actually bigger overall shape. Let's go ahead and put it up against how about the small Inkosi? Instead of the Sebenza 21 I always pull out. Let's put it up against the Brother Company Zero Tolerance 0562. It even towers that knife also, as you guys can see. How about the Benchmade Anthem, which I don't bring out too often. There it is up against the Benchmade Anthem. one of my favorites for a final knife here. How about the Spyderco Watu 2020? Not released 2020. Is it released? I think this was released in 2019. And this is considered a medium-sized knife. One more. Spyderco Swayback, which is another big one. So it's close to the same size as the Swayback, but it looks like it's actually a little bit bigger than, yeah, it's even bigger than that. So hold on, bring it over more towards the middle. Yeah, it's even bigger than the Swayback, and the Swayback is not a small knife either. So there you have it, the Steven Seagal size comparisons. You know, like I said, this is really a limited edition knife, a knife that you would own if you're actually a collector at this point. I'm sure there are guys out there that actually own this knife and use it on a daily basis. You can use the knife. In my opinion, though, I'm gonna, you know, kind of keep it as a collector's item. I'm not gonna use it. I mean, I'm happy to have it back in my collection after 5 years of looking for it again in a straight version. The knife, finally, I want to do one last thing about this knife. It comes with some paperwork, obviously, the regular paperwork that tells you how to care for your knife. You guys have seen that. But more importantly, it comes with this document about the stingray leather. I'm showing the paperwork only because if any of you guys are interested in getting one of these Steven Seagal knives, you can get them. You will, however, have a hard time trying to find it in the non-serrated version. But you're also going to want to make sure it's got this paperwork with it that tells you all about the stingray leather. It tells you that it, you know, won't burn or fray. It's considered the most durable leather on Earth, you know, supposedly. And that makes it kind of a collector's piece, stuff like this, the paperwork and everything. So there you have it, the Steven Seagal 1680. Show you the box once again. The Steven Seagal 1680 Ken Onion knife, special edition with stingray leather inserts on both sides of the handle. Some of you guys might find that appealing. I don't know. It's a new material. I've never heard of it. I'm kind of glad that it's on a knife. You know, anything different on a knife that they can find useful, I like it. So, there you have it. This is Omar, the Knife Shark Guy, just showing you a little blast from the past, back from 2005. One of Ken Onion's original designs, the Steven Seagal 1680. Steven Seagal knife with stingray leather inserts. Nothing more to say about that. This one, I hope you guys found this video very interesting from a collector's standpoint, just to see what they were putting out there back then. Steven Seagal was super popular, so I hope you found this video interesting. It's been fun for me going through my journey of knife collecting with you. This is Omar, the Knife Shark Guy, signing off. Once again, stay safe, wear a mask, and vote. Enjoy your weekend. Thanks so much, and have a fantastic evening.